What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be hopping into some traditional draft with the Theros Beyond Death set. Now, as y'all are watching this, I'll probably be out of town and away. Even Oz anniversary is actually on Monday, so I'm going to be taking a few days off for us to, be together and celebrate and whatnot. But I figured I could do this as I did have a free ticket entry, as y'all saw, thanks to the Mastery Pass. So I figured I could do this, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. I know these best of 3 games can take a while, and especially in draft. So we're gonna take our time here, and we're gonna have fun with it. Most of all, I do like seeing a Woe Strider. Woe Striders are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. We do have to remember we're trying to also set up for best of 3, so need to have cards that we can sideboard in as well. But I'm thinking we're perfectly fine to take the Woe Strider. I think it's an excellent card, so yeah, we'll pick it up. Mirror Shield's actually not bad if you ask me. Mire Grasp is some removal though, and I am a big fan of removal in draft. Hydra's Growth, y'all know I love this card. But I think we go for the removal. I think Mire's Grasp is what we want. Although Hydra's Growth can really spiral you. We'll take a Hydra's Growth. We can always see a Mire's Grasp later. It is common as opposed to Hydra's Growth uncommon, so. Minions Return. When enchanted creature dies, return that card to the battlefield under your control. This does allow us to take our opponent's stuff, which could be interesting. What else do we have? I'm not a big fan of Furious Rise. Stinging Lionfish is interesting, but it requires a certain kind of deck, and I don't know if we'll actually get there. Target creature you control gains +1/+0 and gains indestructible until end of turn. 5 mana for a 5/4, already not bad, and allows one of our creatures to swing in. It's not bad at all. Wings of Hubris gives one of our creatures evasion and potentially the ability to swing in unblockably, which, having Hydra's Growth, I gotta say, is very very tempting to me, as opposed to everything else on here. I mean, Minions Return could be okay, but it requires us to play this down as well as kill our opponent's creature, so it's kind of a 2-part thing. Or we could play it on our own creature and then get our own creature back, right? But if our own creature dies, it won't come back with the Hydra's Growth. We'll take Minions Return. I think I do like it a little bit better. The flash on it is what's really winning me over here. Alrighty. Daxos, not really in our color scheme, though we're not so late in that we can't change. But I don't think Daxos is a reason to change necessarily, so he's not that strong. Vraka's Libation could be very good. Nyxborn Marauder. And then we're going kind of heavy into the Minotaurs, right? Kind of like Vraka's Libation, not gonna lie. Underworld Dreams. Whenever an opponent draws a card, Underworld Dreams deals 1 damage to that player. Well, I really like this enchantment. It can win the game for you. Just straight out win the game. So that is excellent. Mystic Repeal is very strong given the number of enchantments there are. Starlit Mantle's okay, but kind of not in the color schemes we're going, and not really a good enough reason for us to change. Magus' Favor is okay. Return to Nature is okay. Yeah, I think it'll be either the Mystic Repeal or Underworld Dreams. I really like Underworld Dreams. We're a bit heavy on 3-drops right now, but really like this card. Alright. We're being a little greedy in pack 1, but I think that's okay. Alright, so what do we have here? Glory Bearer's not that great. Towering Wave Mystic, none of that's too great. Can't be blocked by enchanted creatures or enchantment creatures. 2 mana for a 2/2 is not bad. The effect is sort of here or there, you know? Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, its enchantment gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So it becomes a 3/2 for 2 mana. I mean, we have 2 enchantments currently. Yeah. Traveler's Amulet could help us to not or rather help us to hit the lands we need. Unknown Shores is okay, but I kind of like Traveler's Amulet a little bit better. It's a little slow, but still gets us there. I think we will take the Traveler's Amulet. Okay, that's very niche. 4 mana, make our opponent discard 2 cards. Realistically, we're playing this, you know, at best turn 4, turn 5. They might discard 2 cards, maybe. If they're not playing too quick of a deck, we can hit them on 2. Enchanted creature has lifelink. Well, we don't have too many creatures as is. Nyxborn Marauder, I guess it's not that bad. 4 mana for a 4/3. It's a solid body, right? I'll take the creatures. We're a little bit weak as far as creatures go right now. Triumph of Anax. Soul Reaper of Magus. Sacrifice a creature, draw a card. 3 mana for a 2/3 that has an ability of... Well, that could work well with the Woe Strider, and I suppose if we get some lower end creatures, that'd be nice. There's another Rage Guard Berserker. Again, I am a fan of these, so maybe. Although I gotta say, I think I'd rather have a card draw outlet at least. It's a very odd sort of Golgari deck we have going on here, but you know, that's okay. Unknown Shores helps us a little bit as far as making sure we can get things like Underworld Dreams down. Nyxborn Colossus is a huge creature, which if we get something like Minions Return on it, it would be very difficult for our opponent to get it off the battlefield and keep it off the battlefield unless they exile it, which I know there are some exile abilities in this format. Take the Unknown Shores. Right now we have the Unknown Shores and Traveler's Amulet, so we're kind of fine as far as splitting our paths goes. Gift of Strength, not too great. Plummet, not too great. Although Plummet is a decent sideboard card, right? I'll take a Plummet. Plummet is, like I said, decent sideboard. Target player loses 2 life, and we can play this again and again and again. It's not that great. Enters the battlefield, scry 1, 3 mana for a 1/3. Not super fantastic, but as we are lacking creatures and lacking options, I'll take it. 1 mana for a 1/1 Death Touch? Yeah, sure. Sign me up for that. Bronze Sword and a Starlit Mantle. Well, I highly doubt we splash just for a Starlit Mantle. So, we'll take the Bronze Sword. And Temple Thief. We end up picking one up in the end. Alright, so our rare here is Nylia's Intervention. Search your library for up to X land cards. For them, put them into your hand, then shuffle your library, or deal twice X damage to each creature with flying. So this would... I mean, I guess it could be a main board card. We could try to make sure we hit all the lands, but realistically, when would we play this? Turn 5, we can get 3 lands into our hand. Turn 4, maybe? It's usually when you start missing your land drops, right? Hit 2 land from turn 4, we go up to 6, guaranteed. Drag to the Underworld, though, that's so good. Nylia's Intervention, drag to the Underworld, that's pretty good with what we have set up here so far. Dreamshaper Shaman I really like. Sacrifice a non-land permanent if you do. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-land permanent card. Put that card into the battlefield and the rest onto the bottom. Since we have things such as Moss Viper, Temple Thief, Woe Strider's little goat, right? We have things that we don't care too much about that we could definitely sacrifice. Even Traveler's Amulet, right? We could sacrifice. And Dreamshaper, that might be something worth splashing for. So it's either between the Drag to the Underworld or the Dreamshaper Shaman. Here's where our decision lies, basically. Do we think Dreamshaper Shaman is a bomb? 6 mana for a 5/4. Not that great. At the beginning of your end step is when you activate this. So you activate it, and then your opponent untaps all their lands and has the ability to remove whatever you just potentially got down. You could also potentially remove something like a Temple Thief and then only get out a Moss Viper, right? Whereas then you're gonna be kind of upset. What would you not be upset at getting out though? You know, Nyxborn or something. But let's say you get an enchantment down and then your opponent immediately removes whatever it was that you got the enchantment on. Then you just sacrificed a non-land permanent and your opponent removed, you know, your Dream Shaper or whatever you equipped the new non-land permanent to, and they removed that non-land permanent. So sort of a 3-for-1 deal. So this is, if this goes bad, it goes very bad, right? I don't think that's bomb worthy. I think we go with Drag to the Underworld. I think that's a much better and safer play. And then there's the Temple of Malice right afterwards saying, hey, this would have really helped you split into that. Each player puts the top 3 cards of the library into the graveyard. Exile up to 2 cards from graveyards. For each creature card, gain 1 life. Return target creature or land card from your graveyard to your hand. It's not bad. 2 mana, you can return something from your graveyard to your hand. The other 2, I mean, you get to gain life, but milling yourself is not the best. Discordant Piper is not terrible, though I'd like to pick it up much later if possible. Relentless Pursuit, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may put a creature card and or land card from among them into your hand, put the rest into your graveyard. Okay, so 3 mana, draw a land or a creature, and put the rest into your graveyard. I'm not a huge fan of that, considering we don't have too much in the way of bringing things back from the graveyard quite yet. There is a Careless Celebrant, which is okay. I think I am going to go with the Binding of the Titans, though. Return to Nature is not bad. Not bad at all, but it is a common, so we should have more chances to get it, right? That's my theory. I'm going to stick to it. I do kind of like an Enemy of Enlightenment as far as draft goes. Since it is so costly as far as mana goes, you're not getting this down until later, which generally in draft, both players will have lower hands. So this thing will be closer to a 3-3 or a 4-4 coming down, but it does make your opponent discard each turn. And if you can keep your costs low, then you should be able to play whatever you have, right? Yeah, I mean, what are our other options, right? Discordant or another Nyxborn or a Plummet? Nah, I think I will take the Enemy of Enlightenment. Another Minions Return could be okay. Discordant Piper's not bad either. There's that Rageguard Berserker that I was talking about. You may search your library for a basic land, put it into your hand. Oh, put it onto the battlefield, I'm sorry. Tap, then shuffle your library. That's not terrible. 3 mana. Ramp 1. Alright, so let's take a look at our deck from the side. Yeah, a whole lot of 3-drops, so Omen of the Hunt may not make it just because of how many 3-drops we have, though realistically this is getting sideboarded out. That's not gonna stay. This isn't bad, but it's a little slow, right? But in draft, slow is normal, so Rageguard helps out our top end, but again, we've already seen it twice, and it is common, so the odds of us seeing it again are pretty high. Discordant Piper is good, and we are sort of hurting as far as our lower end creature count goes. So I think I will take the Discordant Piper, actually. I think it's what we need. And in draft, you oftentimes find yourself not necessarily picking, you know, just the best of the lot, but you oftentimes find yourself picking the best for what you need currently in your deck. So we are a little too late to be swapping, so we're gonna have to stick to our colors here. Target creature and opponent controls gets -1/-1. It's not fantastic, but it is another creature with which we can sacrifice, and then we can sort of maybe even start focusing on that sacrifice element a little bit more, right? So yeah, I'll take a Grim Physician. We were just talking about how our lower end is kind of hurting a little bit. Underworld Fires. I don't think it's worth splashing in red for that. I don't think any of these really are worth splashing in red. I will take another plummet for the sideboard though, because you know generally if you're sideboarding in plummet, it's going to be useful with more than one copy. So again, none of these really worth splashing. I mean, Omen of the Sea is not bad. Scry 2, draw a card, and then you can furthermore pay 3 mana and scry 2 more. It's not terrible. +1 against Menace until end of turn. 5 mana for a 5/5 that has Menace. It's not bad. Another Nyxborn Marauder or a Nexus Wardens. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 2 life. Well, how many enchantments do we actually have here? Let's take a gander, shall we? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow. Actually quite a few. I think that'll fit in right nice. And it has reach as well, right? So a 1 for a solid body, a bear, a solid blocking bear. Do I want to take another Unknown Shores? Kind of. I kind of want to ensure that we're gonna be able to hit this Underworld Dreams fine. I'll take another Temple Thief. I know Selesnya Enchantments is going to be a popular route for people to go as well. We unfortunately haven't really seen the best options as far as that goes. Magus's Favor is interesting because it can escape, right? So it has value in the fact that it's very hard to get rid of, and it buffs up whatever we put it on. And so no matter what we put it on, you know, as long as it can survive, it's gonna get buffed. Or we can always throw it on our opponent's creature and it just kills it, right? It's either that or another Minions Return. I think I'm gonna take the Minions Return. There is the Dream Shaper Shaman, and we are kind of in the sacrifice route now. But we also have a lot of these lower ends which we wouldn't like to hit, and I've already explained how it's gonna hurt you very, very bad when it goes wrong. Okay, and I don't want to cost this a whole match just because Dream Shaper Shaman swung the tempo into the wrong way. I'd rather play a much more average deck that's gonna win more often. I guess we can take a Relentless Pursuit. There's not much else here. I mean, maybe a Starlit Mantle for the hexproof ability, right? If we throw that in the sideboard, we do have the 1 Unknown Shore. I guess that's not really enough. We'll take a Relentless Pursuit. Another Nyxborn Marauder, not bad. Minions Return. Didn't realize we're going to be seeing so many of those. Okay. Time Calls the Dead. Well, that's interesting. It's very interesting. We can get some zombies, gain some life, and scry. Nessian Wonder. Whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a land, put it into your hand, put the rest into the bottom of your library. 2 mana for a 1/3. That sort of keeps us hitting lands early. It's not bad. Another Discordant Piper. I kind of like the Time Calls the Dead, though. I'm not gonna lie. Exile. It does mill us, and alongside the Relentless Pursuit, we're gonna be getting low kind of fast. But I don't have to play Relentless Pursuit in the main board, so I'll take a Terrameric Calls the Dead. Fracas Spawn I actually really like, so we're probably just gonna immediately pick that up. But don't wanna pick it up without taking a gander at everything else. But yeah, nothing else seems nearly as good. So we'll take a Fracas Spawn. For those of you who don't know, 4 mana for a 3/4, meh. But whenever it escapes with 2+1/+1 counter, so it's coming back as a 5/6 solid body, right? And whenever it enters the battlefield, each opponent is going to sacrifice a non-Gorgon creature. So pretty good. Exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature, you gain 3 life. Otherwise, draw a card. 1 mana. Potentially pay that multiple times over. Kind of like Clinging to Dust. Kind of like it. Underworld Charger is another escape creature. We've seen before that Underworld Charger can be very good in draft, so potential. This is kind of interesting, right? Kind of interesting in the fact that if we get something like Soul Reaper of Magus down and this, and then we start attaching things, right, like Minions Return and whatnot, we're going to start spawning up these little 1/1s, which is going to be great fodder for the Soul Reaper and for the Woe Strider. it's interesting. We have a lot of really good picks here. Man, I just want them all, I'm not gonna lie. So Cling to Dust, how do I feel about this? 4 mana, exile 5 other cards. That's costly, right? To potentially just gain 3 life or draw another card. It is, it's very costly. 1 mana instant speed though. See, the interesting thing about Cling to Dust is if our opponent's going to return something from their graveyard, we can always just play Cling to Dust and exile it. And, you know, be it creature or non-creature or whatever, we'll gain some kind of bonus. So there's that. It's very interesting in that manner. Siona, while interesting and kind of fun and quirky or whatever, is it really good? How many auras are we actually playing? 3 there, although likely going down to 2 copies, so we'll say 2. 3. Yeah, only 3 auras? I don't think Siona makes it. Fraga's Libation's good, but since it's not targeted, it kind of falls flat. And then we have Underworld Charger, 3 mana for a 3/3, can't block, but you can exile it for 5 mana, and it comes back with 2+1/+1 counters, so it comes back as a 5/5. You only have to exile 3 other cards, so its escape cost is relatively low, right? The 5 mana is whatever, but the exiling 3 cards, that's what we're looking at. I think I am going to take the Cling to Dust, though. We have creatures, you know, plenty. Cling to Dust is sort of a one kind of you know, a special effect. It's something you may want. It's about if I would untap target creature. Well, we don't have the full Vannifar combo, so I don't know if that'd be nearly as good. Rise to Glory might be splashable, but again, we don't have too many auras, so Magus' Favor, I've already said how I like it before. I think that is going to be our option here. With a +1/+1 counter? I don't really like the idea of a 4/1 or even a 5/2, so I'll take a Magus' Favor. Setessan Petitioner enters the battlefield. You gain life equal to your devotion to green. 3 mana for a 2/2. Well, we don't really have... Well, everything that we do have in green will be on the battlefield at least for some time, but we don't have too much green, so I don't think that's really where we want to go. Soul Reaper of Magus, we do kind of have the creature base now to run 2 of these and make sure we're hitting draws, so sure, I'll take another Soul Reaper. Why not? Why not? Maybe we do end up with an Omen of the Hunt in the deck. Who knew it? Ooh, another Underworld Dreams. I think that's a for sure pickup there. Altar of the Pantheon. Well, we don't have any gods or demigods or legendary enchantments, actually, for that matter. But add 1 mana of any color is very interesting. The devotion thing kind of doesn't really do anything for us. It would if we had a Setessan Petitioner, but that requires us to pick this instead of this, and yeah. I think I will take Altar of the Pantheon. I think we're going to be hitting lands perfectly fine and all that. Maybe even a little too good. I think a Bronze Sword here might be fun. Or another Unknown Shores. We'll go with the Bronze Sword. Another Plummet. I'll actually take that. If we're going to sideboard in Plummet, like I said, we're going to want to do it hard, so look at that. A Siona actually makes it into the deck after all. I kind of wish I had taken some more Unknown Shores to make that a little bit more pragmatic, right? Alrighty. Now that our deck has been fully assembled, let's take a look here at what we're getting rid of from the main board. So everything that I'm like sort of meh on, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut. Or actually, tell you what could be a better way if we just cut everything and then I add back in, although that could get a bit messy. So a whole lot of 3-drops. I don't think I want nearly that many. Alright, yeah. So it's down to the 3-drops. Let's see, we have 12 creatures, 15 non-creatures. Do I keep a Siona in the main deck? I don't think so. Then that just forces us to have white mana. Alright, one more card to get out of here. What will it be? We could always just try a 41 card deck as well. It's not going to be the end of the world, I don't think. Yeah, let's run it like this and we'll see how it goes. So Golgari Enchantments. Wow, what a weird deck. Alright, let's go ahead and hop into a game one then. Quamper? Gonna be our first foe. I will play first. Thank you for asking, Magic. Ooh, well, I don't love it, but we have the 3 black mana for an Underworld Dream, so hey, yeah, you know, I will take that. Hateful Eidolon. Ooh, interesting. So we can go ahead and get down a Temple Thief and at least have some defense against this Hateful Eidolon. And actually, the Hateful Eidolon can't even block our Temple Thief, so interesting. Oh, and they play a Temple Thief of their own. Okay. That'll do it for their turn. Then we'll get down an Underworld Dream. So now we can really start ticking in some damage each and every turn. I'm not going to swing in because we're gonna tick them down, right? They only have at max 20 turns. I know that doesn't sound like a scary timer, but every swing in we get, it's gonna, you know, affect it a little bit more. Every time they draw extra cards, it's gonna affect it a little bit more. Magus' Favor, that's actually not bad for us because we can just play our Magus' Favor on their Temple Thief. So do I want to block here? That's the question. I think no is the answer. Oh, we got a Minions Return. So what I could actually do is play Minions Return onto the Temple Thief and then play Magus' Favor on it. I think that's what we want to do. Alright, so their Hateful Eidolon is actually dealing damage to them. Now we can swing in with our Temple Thief and get in some damage. Thankfully, their Hateful Eidolon can't even defend, so bada bing, bada boom. We've managed to turn the board in our favor quite easily. We do only have access to 5 mana, so Enemy of Enlightenment not going to be able to come down next turn, but maybe the turn after that. We'll have to wait and see. Exile 2 other cards, so we can't even really play Mox's Favor from our graveyard quite yet. Neither can they, as it's their only card in the graveyard. High Merit is enchantment, so both of our Temple Thieves can still get through. And there's a Traveler's Amulet, which will get us to our Enemy of Enlightenment coming next turn. Fantastic. I will take some more Forest. Actually, we're perfectly fine as far as that goes. I can use Magus' Favor now if I want to and put it on one of my Temple Thieves, and then they can just start getting in damage, right? Going absolute ham. So let's do that, shall we? This will be 6 damage to the face. Now, sure, they can swing in with their Hateful Eidolon to gain one life back, but I think dealing the 2 damage, like dealing that 1 damage variance, is better for us because next turn we're going to deal 6 more damage plus the one from Underworld. That's 7 damage total. We're getting there. We're getting there. Now, of course, they can always play their Magus' Favor from their graveyard if they can get enough cards there on our Temple Thief and sort of run the same play that we ran. But again, it would require them to have cards in the graveyard, and as I'm not blocking their creatures, it's going to be a little difficult. So they're going to swing all in, go back up to 9 health. We can deal 6 damage, so we're 3 damage off from lethal. Ooh, Time Errant Calls the Dead. Here's the thing, if I play this, we will have to discard this. It's very risky. I kind of like Time Errant Calls the Dead. We're gonna first things first. We're gonna swing all in. Gonna make me sacrifice a creature. Here's the thing: if I sacrifice Temple Thief, it puts them another card in their graveyard for Magus' favor. If I sacrifice my own, it just puts my Magus' favor in my graveyard. So I think I will sacrifice theirs. They still can't activate this quite yet. So still 4 damage this turn. Well, potentially, unless they have one mana removal here at instant speed. We'll see. Omen of the Dead. No, not quite. So we can get in here, and then we can also get a zombie back, or we can get down an Enemy of Enlightenment, which they have 4 cards in hand. They're going to draw 1, so the Enemy of Enlightenment actually would immediately die. So let's just play the Temple Thief, and then we'll play the Time Merit Calls the Dead. Let's see what we hit here. A Woe Strider is actually pretty good as far as sending it over there, and then we can exile that and get a 2/2 down. So they're down to 4. They do have the Hateful, so they could potentially be back to 5. We'll have to see. They can use their Magus' favor, can they? No, they only have 2 cards still in their graveyard. Not quite there yet. They could just have removal for our Temple Thief. Quamper, thinking hard. I don't blame them. We've gotten them pretty low so far. Now, how many do we have to exile for Woe Strider? 4. So we need 3 more cards in our graveyard. So if they get rid of Temple Thief, I'm sorry, that is 2. Once Time Merit Calls the Dead leaves the battlefield, that will be 3. So we could potentially go Enemy of Enlightenment and then Woe Strider following that turn, right? And enhance Woe Strider at that. So we'll see. Scavenging Harpy, 2/1. When it enters battlefield, exile target card from an opponent's graveyard. No, my Woe Strider. Well, that's not good for us. But okay. What are we doing here? Sure, get rid of that. This is not good, ladies and gentlemen. This is not good. If we play this, the beginning of your upkeep, each player discards a card. So yeah, as soon as they draw into one, Enemy of Enlightenment dies. Can't swing in with these. I can't swing in with her. We are in a bit of a pickle. I am going to hold on to the land for when we do play the Enemy of Enlightenment. That way I can have something to discard other than what we currently draw into, since enemy is 6 mana. So we're just going to have to skip here and hope that they don't have anything too deadly for us. Right? If I had some way to enchant their Scavenging Harpy, be it good or bad, I would have done it, and that would have won us the game if I had a Hydra's Growth or anything along those lines, because then Temple Thief couldn't be blocked by it, and then, you know, bada bing bada boom, free victory. Alright, we'll have to see though. Quamper is actually playing a deck very similar to ours. You'll see they have Golgari and sort of enchantment based. It's interesting. Alright, so they're getting rid of some cards from our graveyard, gaining some life, and there's a Temple Thief. So it is a bit unfortunate. Now we are the ones that seem to have our back against the wall, and we just keep drawing lands. Fraka's Libation's great. We'll put that other land to the bottom because we're actually kind of flooding out here quite a bit. So yeah, Fraka's Libation will make them sacrifice a creature. Doesn't matter which one they sacrifice. We still can't play this, so we'll have to kick it back to them. And I don't want to swing in with everything else quite yet, as Time Merit will just eat our zombies, right? We do need to get rid of Time Merit, as well he just destroys our graveyard, and we kind of like the things in our graveyard. So when they go to sacrifice, what do they sacrifice? They don't sacrifice the Scavenging Harpy for sure. You think they just sacrifice the Eidolon? They're swinging in with the Time Merit. I think I go no blocks. I think I just allow that to happen. I don't think I'm at risk for death. Nightmare Shepherd. Interesting. Alright, so I will Fraka's Libation. Target opponent sacrifices a creature. This isn't the world's greatest for us, as they do have a Nightmare Shepherd down now. So they do have one creature with which they can defend here. And then of course they can kill these. Enemy of Enlightenment. How do they just maintain 4 cards in hand? It's crazy. I think we're in trouble, actually. Definitely can't swing in. What an intense game 1. We have certainly flooded. We're at 8 mana as opposed to our opponent's 4, so they've definitely got more playables than us. Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Granted, one of those lands was an amulet, so potentially take the amulets out, I guess. Thought they would help us. Seems to be hurting us. Of course, Enemy of Enlightenment is nowhere near the power level of Nightmare Shepherd either, so it's not a good thing. Although, now that we know that they are playing so many flyers, again, we can bring in those plummets, right? We have 3 of them, so should find their way into this deck very, very easily. They're going to gain up a little bit more life with the Tower Merit here. Now, this will pretty much determine on whether or not we... Okay, another land. That's going to be a GG. We drew, what? There was 1 playable in the previous 5 cards of our deck. 4 of them were lands, so... You know, I got magicked. It's the only thing you can really say about that. So we will take out the Traveler's Amulet and see how we fare without it. Do still like the Nexus Warden, especially since they are playing so many creatures. I'll take out the Altar of the Pantheon. I guess I'll take out Enemy of Enlightenment. They seem to be fine as far as keeping cards in their hand goes. Even though it is another flying creature. Maybe Enemy stays just for that fact, right? Maybe Tower Merit isn't as good since they do have so much graveyard hate on their side. We could always just cut a land as well. Let's cut the Unknown Shores, actually. We should probably cut that entirely from the deck. This will be fun. I feel like we definitely could have gotten there. The plummets will certainly help us. For sure, for sure. And, you know, not hitting 30,000 lands would be great. Granted, yes, I kept a hand that had 5 lands, so that's on me, you know. But furthermore, we also got flooded, so it's bad when you keep a hand with a lot of lands and then get flooded. It's really, really bad. So potentially in draft, it may be better to just keep. If you know your mana base is fine, it may just be better to keep land or hands with lower land values, because you're gonna have playables in those lower ranges, right? We made sure we have enough playables in the lower ranges. However, if you just keep drawing lands, you're gonna be in trouble. So, Temple Thief and Grim Physician making it onto the battlefield perfectly fine, and our opponents actually got a Temple of Plenty, so they're going Abzan. Actually, is what's going on here. Oh, that's interesting. We do have a Soul Reaper of Magus that can come down and potentially allow us to start drawing some cards, as well as Minions Return. Temple Thief. What do we do here? Well, I can play a Minions Return on their Temple Thief and potentially trade out and get their Temple Thief right back into my hands. Not bad. Not bad if you ask me. Or we can get down a Soul Reaper of Magus and still swing it with the Grim Physician. Physician? I'm sorry. English, chance. Yeah, but if we do this on their Minions Return, we have no way of killing it guaranteed, right? So we'll get down a Soul Reaper of Magus, and we will swing it with a Grim Physician. Because again, if they decide to block, Grim Physician has enough power in itself to take out their Temple Thief. If they decide not to, that's great. Soul Reaper can defend against Temple Thief fairly easily. You'll just leave my Soul Reaper alone, leave my Temple Thief alone. That'd be greatly appreciated. Love to get a Hydra's Growth down on something. Would absolutely love to. This is a bait for sure, right? Feels like a bait. Ah, it's a bait. It's a trap. It's a trap. Moss Viper. Interesting. So their deck is so very similar to ours, right? Let's get down Underworld Dreams. And then next turn we can use Soul Reaper, sack the Grim Physician, kill their Moss Viper. Because if we just swing in now, it's not going to do a whole lot. We swing in with Temple Thief, but again, it's just going to die to the Moss Viper. So, all things considered, we'll just pass it back to him. I would love some green mana to potentially get this Hydra's growth down, but you know what? Let's go for it. Pull whatever trick you have out of your sleeve. We do have another Temple Thief, so Gift of Strength. Okay, I actually prefer that to go off there than anywhere else, to be completely honest. So yeah, I could use Soul Reaper, sacrifice, kill their Moss Viper, right? Draws me a card. Or I get down Temple Thief and hold up mana for Cling to Dust in case they go to any... Well, they don't have anything in their graveyard. Alright, let's do this. Sacrifice. Fantastic. We hit that green mana. And we'll get in for 2. I'm going to take a drink here real quick as my voice is going out a little bit. Ooh, Thundering Chariot. That is a very good card. First strike, trample, haste. Yeah, for sure. Crew it. Crew it out onto the battlefield. It's at least 1 extra damage as to what you're doing right now. Alrighty, and we got some more mana coming in for us. So, get a Temple Thief plus a Hydra's growth down if I want to, or a Minion's Return on something, but we have no way of killing anything yet, or really any need to get Minion's Return on anything. We'll go here. Not gonna swing in. Nothing else, we can double block the Thundering Chariot this turn and actually get rid of it. Enemy of Enlightenment. It's like they have almost the exact same deck as us. That's crazy. Alright, so they are gonna crew it. Now the question is, do we trade a Temple Thief for the Thundering Chariot? I don't think so, but I do think I got a block with the Soul Reaper of Magus. We don't want to hemorrhage our life too much here. Also, holding on to our lands or holding on to our hand just in general, probably not a bad idea either, right? So, I can play Hydra's Growth on something this turn. If I use Soul Reaper of Magus to sacrifice Temple Thief, we draw a card and their Enemy of Enlightenment goes down to a 1/1. Okay, so I think guaranteed I swing in with everything here. Ooh. They can do that at instant speed. Oh, but it's already tapped, right. So I guess that didn't really do anything. Could have potentially, but yeah, it's already tapped, so. I think I'm gonna wait on the Hydra's growth. Yeah, I'm just gonna hold everything in my hand. Get rid of the land there. Alright, so gotta try to play smart here. They have already picked up one victory. We certainly don't want to go 2-0 in our first game. That'd be rather embarrassing. Alright, so they swing back for the 5. You think? No, 6. I'm sorry. They swing back for the 6. We do have this pocket ace, which allows us to either draw a card. Well, I guess I could do this now. We could draw a card, right? Make their Enemy of Enlightenment a little bit weaker. Sure. If it was a creature card, you gain a life, so I don't want to exile a creature. I'll get rid of the libation, I suppose. Oh, it won't. Right. I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought that would make the Enemy of Enlightenment weaker. We use a card to gain a card. So we should have gained the life there. That's okay. At least getting this swamp out of the way of getting drawn. We can sacrifice here if we want to. That will make that lower. I don't think so. Right now we're swinging back with 4 damage. That puts them down to 4. And we have the Underworld Dreams. Puts them down to 3. Hydra's Growth 2. We're very, very close to having them. We can't play all of our cards, otherwise the Enemy of Enlightenment gets way too big. We can afford to play this, though. Play it on the Soul Reaper, I suppose. Alright, so they're down to 2. Alright. Get rid of the swamp. We're going to be down to 2 as well. But for us to be down to 2, it requires them to swing in with everything, in which case we can swing back with everything, and then we would win. So, as far as that goes, we're sitting fine. But it all comes down to what that one card is for them, or if we can draw into a plummet, right? A plummet would just wipe that Enemy of Enlightenment right off the board. We do have 3 of them in the deck. They're not gonna be pumping out that Thundering Chariot this turn. Thank goodness. Another land. Well, we also have the ability to use Cling to Dust. And now it can actually draw us a card and weaken the Enemy of Enlightenment. Okay, so I think course of action is pretty straightforward here. We swing all in, right? Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn except combat damage that would be dealt by enchanted creatures and enchant. Okay, so they're still gonna lose this? That doesn't make any sense to me, right? They still lose that. They don't take damage to the face, but they still lose that. We are down to 5, but I can still play Cling to Dust. I think we're fine. I think we are fine. They're down to 1. They're down to 1 health. Don't draw a card, opponent. Whatever you do. I think gaining life is more important than the god, so 2, 3, 4. We'll do that. Gain 3 life. So we're back up to 8. Our opponent is at lethal because Scavenging Harpy doesn't do anything. So I think that's a GG on the game. They almost had us. Right? 7 damage here. Almost, almost. Thankfully, that only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So it does look like we're going to be picking up a game, too. I don't want to throw out the early GG in case I miscalculated somewhere, somehow. Right? But as far as I can see, they can only deal 7 here. We're down to 1. Come our turn, we have 2 to swing in. So I think that's a GG. They have no way to gain life in between our turn and their turn, so if they don't die to our creatures attacking, they'll die to the Underworld Dreams come their next turn. So, yep. It is what it is. I guess we'll just swing in, make it short, sweet, and simple, right? Why? Why? You're guaranteed to lose, so why waste time, you know? That's okay. We can enjoy this game, I guess, a little bit longer. But time is over. Your turn is up. Quamper, get out of here. All right, so we're going on to a match 3 for this game 1. I do like where our deck is at. I think seem to be pretty good there. We do also have the Thaumaturge's Familiar, if we wanted to bring that in. Scrying could definitely help us, but we're gonna have to find something to remove in order to get it in. I like where our deck's at. Alright, so we shall see if Quamper's got what it takes. I do like how we're pretty much in a mirror match here. Obviously, they have things like Nightmare Shepherd, which is a bit of a pain in the ass, if I'm going to be honest, for me to see, because it's like, man, where was my Nightmare Shepherd or an Erebus? I would have taken an Erebus, you know, free of charge, certainly. Either way. Quamper taking their sweet time. That's okay. I know how sideboarding can go. You're always so iffy, and if you make the wrong choice, you're gonna blame it. You're gonna blame it. Well, you may or may not blame it, but a lot of the times you're gonna blame it on that sideboarding. You're gonna be like, damn it, I should have went with my first instinct, or I should have went with my second instinct. You know, whatever hindsight 2020 answer was right, that's what you're going to be saying you should have done. Now, our opponent does get to play first here, which is actually going to be the first time, and unfortunate for us, because so far we've played first and managed to win once, but I guess we do need to go make some just raw edits to our deck. I'm keeping this. I know I made a mistake before of keeping 5 lands in hand, but we have the Plummet, and we've seen that their flyers are truly what hurts us the most. So there's their Temple Thief. I see your Temple Thief, and I will raise you a Temple Thief, or I guess rather match your Temple Thief, because I'm not actually raising you anything, not quite yet. Now we know they have the cheeky combat tricks, right? So we're not going to trade out with them. We'll just allow the 2 damage to ride. There's our 3rd black mana, so thank goodness Underworld Dreams is going to be coming down. Time's a ticking, opponent. Time is a ticking. If I could hit both Underworld Dreams, oh boy, would I be happy. Just pew pew every turn, you know? It's like 2 little Chandra emblems. You just sort of set them and forget them. So wonderful. The Binding of the Titans. I don't know why it always reminds me of the Binding of Isaac, but you know, there it is. So yeah, I'll go ahead and play this. I don't quite want to throw my Magus' Favor on my Temple Thief, as they also have a Temple Thief, right? And then you just sort of lose your ability to to hit that. So what do we get rid of? We got Soul Reaper, Chimera, and Cling to Dust. Huh. Well, Cling to Dust is good, and we got rid of their Chimera and their Nightmare. Ooh, we hit them hard. We hit them hard. Alright, so I will swing back in with the Temple Thief. We'll keep going tick for tat as far as damage goes. And yeah, we'll keep our Magus' favor aside. I don't really want to play it quite yet. Granted, it could allow us to really get in good damage, considering we each only have 2 creatures down. And if we're going to be going just swinging back and forth right in this whole Bloodfest, I guess it would be best for me to have the harder hitting creature, huh? We'll have to wait and see. Opponent may be getting back. Ooh, Acolyte of Affliction. Is this an enchantment creature? Nope, it's just a human cleric. Just bad news for us. So they actually got more cards in this theme of deck rather. Let's get rid of their Nightmare Shepherd and their Rageguard Berserker for sure. That'll put us back to 16 health, so that's good. We can get down on our Soul Reaper of Magus. Now, if I want to, I can play Magus' favor on my Temple Thief and at least trade out with their Acolyte of Affliction, but then their Temple Thief has free reign to my face, right? Play Magus' favor on my Soul Reaper of Magus, and then it becomes a 4/2, but then it just dies to both of their things anyways, so I guess it's not the worst play in the world, right? We'll wait. We will wait and see. They don't have the mana to get Time Merit down quite yet, so that's good. They probably will. Yep, they do swing in with their Temple Thief. We're gonna keep saying no blocks for the time being. Omen of the Hunt. So they're ramping up a little bit. That gets them to their Time Merit. Ooh, Enemy of Enlightenment. We do have an Enemy of Enlightenment, and we have cards that we can discard, but they have plenty of cards in hand, so we can't play that quite yet. Tell you what we do. I think we just run out our hand a little bit. We'll go here, actually. Now, Plummet is instant speed. Remember that. So if they play something like an Enemy of Enlightenment, I'm shooting it out of the sky. Our opponent does seem to always have a healthy hand size, which I gotta say I do admire. Do we make the trade? No. Nope. Have to sacrifice a creature. Oh, we'll just get rid of one of the Maguses, I guess. One of the Soul Reapers. Ooh, Fracas Libation. That is really good for us. So good, in fact, I'm going to go ahead and play it. Yep. So, do they take the extra damage to the face? Oh, they got rid of their Temple Thief. That's fantastic for us. So we will swing all in now. They'll trade out on the Soul Reaper of Magus. Fine by me. This is +3/+3, right? Yeah, so we're going to sacrifice our Soul Reaper of Magus. Their effect doesn't do anything. We'll get in for 2. Oh, and another Underworld Dreams. That's interesting, because that's 2 damage a turn. Now they do have a time merit they can get down and start healing back up, but... Ooh, a Nyxborn Colossus. Did not see that one coming. Did not. Alright, so game, if you want to give me any of my actual removal that I have, oh, that'd be fantastic. But I guess for the time being, we'll just throw down Underworld Dreams. We can get in with Temple Thief. Takes them down 4 total, so they're down to 5 health, but then they swing back at us for 8 damage, potentially more than that if they have things on them. I can play a Magus' Favor and get in with 4 damage from my Temple Thief, 2 from the Underworld of Dreams, which is 6, puts them down to 3, which would mean lethal on our next turn. Decisions, right? I think what we do is we let Underworld Dreams run out 1 turn, at least, right? So, 2 damage here. We have to keep the mana for Cling to Dust, I think. They do play a Time Merit. They're going to gain some life here. Super unfortunate for us, I gotta say. Super duper unfortunato. This is a close game. I gotta say, I really am enjoying it. So I think we do take the 6 from the Nyxborn. Yeah, I think we just take the 8 in total. Take the 8 to the face. Ooh, Moss Viper is actually really clutch here. Alright, so Moss Viper is fantastic, and then we can go into an Enemy of Enlightenment. It's interesting, but I think the Cling to Dust may be more essential here. Satyr Scout, so this can block our Temple Thief. We could play a Magus' Favor, but we can't play a Magus' Favor plus a Cling to Dust. Alright, let's go for the enemy. Let's take a risk, shall we? If they have any sort of pump spell here for their creatures, we do die, okay? If they have anything where they can pump the Nessian Wonder. Oh, or that works too. Okay, good game. Unlike them, however, I am just gonna scoop it out. Okay, so that was super unfortunate, but they were literally playing a mirror match of our deck. So, unfortunately, game 1 being picked up as a loss. That does feel super bad in a traditional draft. It feels so bad. But all that being said and out of the way, we're going to go and hop into a game 2.